Why are they so up in arms about this woman? It is mind-boggling.
It's jealousy, it's racism, it's envy.
Yeah.
And at this point, I'm like, bring it.
Right.
And it's funny, for the longest time, a lot of us who were close to her, we didn't know how to navigate all of this. And when the show came out, I think for me, I was like, you know what? If you can't see a friendship that she has with these people on the show, that's on you.
Yeah.
And like, if you're going to come at me or make a snide comment on social, don't think that I'm not going to see it and say something.
Yeah.
What makes you think that we won't see this and then you get pissed off that I'm making a comment about it? Like, you had the balls to come to and tag me.
Yes.
About this comment. What makes you think that I can't comment back?
With your full face and full name.
Yes.
Seriously.
It's actually kind
like,
of hilarious.
out of my face. Come on.
Now, I feel like you're mentioning her a lot more in this episode than you were maybe allowed to before.
100%.
I think we were like, we can try to ask one question,
Yes.
and then we got the Pinterest for the wedding thing, but you just casually being like, yeah, and even Meghan using Live Tinted. It feels a little bit more relaxed and a little bit more.
Yes.
Yeah.
She's living her life now. We're all living our life.
Yeah. I mean, she's free.
She's
seems
free.
like she is thriving. I mean, she is thriving. Let's be honest.
I mean, I'm just so proud of her because this is who she's always been. All of us who've known her, I've known her for 15 years.
Right.
This is who she is.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you don't see that, and you don't think it's coming from an authentic place, then you need to go check yourself.
The Royal Reckoning, Harry and Meghan versus the tabloid machine. And we're back because this story, this never-ending assault on two people who simply chose to live their own lives, just refuses to die down. And frankly, neither will we. Feed GB News. Tabloid clip. Here. What you just watched is the machine in full operation. A media apparatus so desperate, so agenda-driven, that they are out here gleefully amplifying the words of a 34-count convicted felon, a man credibly accused of rape, a man who has called women pigs in public just to take one more swing at Meghan Markle. And the worst part. While they do it, let that sink in. The same press that clutches its pearls about dignity and the sanctity of the crown is celebrating gossip from the Oval Office like it's a gift from above, because their agenda, and make no mistake, an agenda, has always been the same. Paint Meghan as the devil, hope the marriage collapses, and drag Harry back, broken and alone, and if none of that works. Well, the comment sections will tell you the rest, and it is, this is not journalism. This is persecution dressed up in a press pass, and the fact that they believe their own narrative is perhaps the saddest, most chilling part of all. The Crown's relentless war, how the British media weaponized their obsession with Meghan Markle. Video feed, GB News tabloid coverage clips here. What you're witnessing, ladies and gentlemen, is not journalism. It is a carefully orchestrated campaign where media outlets have locked arms, sharpened their knives, and pointed every single blade at one woman, Meghan Markle. Day after day, week after week, these tabloids manufacture narratives, spinning divorce rumours out of thin air, desperately trying to fracture a marriage that, 6 years on, remains unbroken. Because here is the truth they cannot stand. Harry isn't going back, Meghan isn't going anywhere, and no amount of headline recycling changes that reality. And while these very same outlets are breathlessly quoting a 34-count convicted felon sitting in the Oval Office just to take a swing at Meghan, ask yourself, where is that same energy for Prince Andrew? Where are those screaming front pages? The British press will bend over backwards, overlook every royal scandal, every inconvenient truth, every genuine controversy within that palace. But the moment there is even a whisper involving the Sussexes, the machine roars to life, because this was never about journalism, it was always about destruction. The Crown versus the Sussexes. How the British tabloid machine keeps spinning. And now, because what you're about to see says everything. Everything. Take a look at this GB News coverage right here. This is the tabloid machinery in full motion, cranking out the same tired narrative, recycling the same breathless speculation about returns to Sandringham, reconciliations, coming back into the fold. As if Harry and Meghan haven't built an entirely new life, 6 whole years on, thriving in California while these outlets are still writing the same headline they wrote in 2019. And here's what makes this truly staggering, what makes your jaw drop when you really sit with it. They are gleefully amplifying the words of a 34-count convicted felon, a man with devastating allegations against his name, a man who has called women piggy to their faces, a man whose own relationship with truth is, shall we say, and they are using his words to attack Meghan, a woman, a wife, a mother. Think about that moral gymnastics routine for just 1 second. They will overlook everything about that source, just to land one more blow. That's not journalism, that's a vendetta dressed up in a press badge. The Crown's double standard, how the media protects the powerful while targeting Meghan. And here's where the hypocrisy becomes absolutely impossible to ignore, because while these tabloid vultures are gleefully amplifying every word Trump utters about Meghan and Harry, let's talk about what they're conveniently scrutinizing. A man with 34 felony counts, credible rape allegations, and a well-documented history of calling women pigs and worse, sitting in the highest office in the world, and somehow misogynistic commentary is being treated as gospel truth worth broadcasting across British media without so much as a raised eyebrow. And then there's Prince Andrew, whose name, as one sharp commenter pointed out, never even left Trump's lips, and the British press? Silent. Crickets. Because the same outlets clutching their pearls over Harry and Meghan have historically given Andrew's catastrophic scandals a very amount of breathing room. But perhaps the most damning thread running through all of this, and multiple voices in this conversation said it plainly, is race. As one commenter put it directly, and when you look at the relentless dehumanizing coverage Meghan has endured compared to every other member of that institution, it is genuinely difficult to argue otherwise. Royal commentators and their toxic agenda against the Sussexes. What we're witnessing here is nothing short of a calculated, gleeful pile-on, and the mask has well and truly slipped. When royal commentators like Camilla Tominey sit there with that smirk plastered across their face, openly revelling in the fact that a 34-count felon, a man credibly accused of the most heinous acts imaginable, is gossiping about another man's wife from the Oval Office. You have to stop and ask yourself, what exactly is the agenda here? Because, as one commenter put it so perfectly, and that agenda couldn't be clearer. Tear Meghan down by any means necessary, even if it means enthusiastically amplifying the words of a man who calls women piggy, whose respect for women is virtually non-existent, and who, let's be honest, these same commentators would normally never dare platform so approvingly. The sensationalism is breathtaking. The hypocrisy is staggering. And that smirk, that deliberate, calculated smirk, tells you everything you need to know about just how personal, how poisonous, and how utterly devoid of basic human decency this whole operation truly is. The Sussex saga, royal tabloids, Trump's gossip, and the never-ending smear campaign. Video. Insert Camilla Tomine reaction footage. And there she is, folks. Take a good long look at that smirk. That is Camilla Tomine, visibly reveling in the fact that the President of the United States, a 34-count felon, an adjudicated rapist, a man who has publicly called women piggy and married to a former model who barely engages in public discourse, decided to sit in the Oval Office and gossip about a private citizen named Meghan Markle. Let that sink in. These are the same tabloid voices who would lecture us about dignity, about the sanctity of the monarchy,
Harry and Meghan have wrapped
about
up their
what
visit
it means
to
to be.
Melbourne on their third and
And
final
yet,
day
here they
The
are,
Duke and Duchess of
absolutely
Sussex made new
clapping
friends in
like
the city
seals,
and thrilled
because a man
students at
with
Swinburne
zero
University.
moral
Edward Godfrey
authority
was with them.
validated their 6-year obsession
picture-perfect
with
morning for a
destroying
stroll
one woman.
along the Yarra and a guided
The
tour
hypocrisy
of Aboriginal
is staggering.
sites.
The agenda
Harry and
is
Meghan catching
transparent,
walkers by
and the
surprise.
audience,
My
we
friend
see
Sophia
it
doesn't
clearly
believe
now,
this.
because
While
notice
making
something
friends along
interesting.
the way.
It's
Trump
cool, like,
never once
at school, I
mentioned
can just
Prince
say,
Andrew's
like,
name.
I met Harry,
Not once.
the prince, and like,
And neither
like, he's
did
like
the
my
British
friend.
press.
There were royal portraits.
Funny how that works, isn't it?
And a very cute
Harry and
impromptu
Meghan,
playdate for
the
little
ultimate
Heidi.
triumph
actually
over
surprised
royal
to say that.
toxicity.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
And here's what the
Was that very
tabloids
good?
and their royal
Say hi to
cheerleaders
everybody?
simply
I
cannot
was crying when I
stand.
seen Harry because
6 years on, Harry and
I watched him
Meghan
grow up
are
and,
video
yeah, seeing him in the
feed
flesh, it's just
GB
so nice.
News.
Day 3 sees the Melbourne
Tabloid
leg
clips
and
out
core
there in
part of this
California,
Australian
far
tour
away from the
come
grey
to an end.
skies
Harry
and
Meghan
greyer
spent the
souls
final
of
day
an
of their
institution
visit in
that
Sydney.
never truly
Before that,
wanted
though,
Meghan
it
there
was
in the
back to
first place.
school.
This couple has built
An outfit
something
change for
real,
Meghan at Swinburne
something,
University,
a life
different
rooted in
shoes for
purpose,
Harry,
in love,
unexpected
and in
classmates
genuine
for students.
humanitarian work that speaks louder than every poisonous headline ever written about them.
How was that?
The attacks have been relentless, haven't they? Year
couple
after
here to
year,
discuss
the same
mental health.
tired narrative recycled. Will they come back? Will they divorce?
As words
Will Harry
spread
crawl
quickly
home
of their
begging?
presence.
And yet, here the Sussexes stand, unbowed and unbroken, continuing to
A
do the
significant
work,
police presence
showing up
around
for
their
causes
movements today.
that actually,
The Premier with this to
while
say
their
when asked
critics
if
sit
taxpayers are
gleefully
picking up the
quoting
tab.
a 34-count felon in the Oval Office
Oh, right.
just to
Okay.
score
I think
cheap
that's a
points
matter for Victoria
against a
Police.
woman
Police
whose
telling
only
us
real
it
crime,
does not
as
provide
many
comment
have
on
pointed
specific
out,
operational
is being
arrangements.
mixed
Their final
race
Melbourne
and
event, a $1,000 plus ticketed summit. Before
that
checking their own
happiness,
tickets at
that
Tullamarine,
quiet,
farewelling
defiant
Melbourne,
California
down to
sunshine
Sydney.
happiness
Edward Godfrey,
isn't just
9 News.
personal vindication. It is absolute and undeniable that Harry and Meghan made exactly the right decision. The Crown's double standard, Harry, Meghan, and the machinery of royal persecution. Let's talk about the breathtaking hypocrisy at the heart of this entire circus. Because the very institutions that built their empire on racism, colonialism, and centuries of systemic oppression are now standing at the gates, demanding Harry and Meghan bow their heads and fall back in line. Think about that for a second. These are the same palaces, the same corridors of power, the same establishment press that have weaponized every tool at their disposal against a mixed-race woman from the moment she dared to join that family. And yet, somehow, the problem. Stripping titles from a mixed-race couple while protecting a prince credibly accused of far worse. That's not tradition. That's prejudice wearing a crown. As one commenter put it plainly, and the most damning indictment of all, the royal family's deafening silence, not a whisper, not a statement, while the tabloid machine runs her name through the mud day after day, year after year. That silence isn't neutrality. That silence, the answer. Truth over tabloids, Harry, Meghan, and the fight against a broken machine. And that, right there, is what resilience actually looks like. Because while the tabloids keep spinning their tired, desperate narratives, Harry and Meghan continue to inspire millions of people around the world who see exactly what is happening and refuse to look away. This is not just a story about a couple who left a palace. This is a story about two people who stood up against a system rotted through with racism and media manipulation. A system that, as so many of you in these comments have powerfully pointed out, first wanted them to fail, then wanted them to divorce, then wanted the world to paint Meghan as a villain, and when none of that worked, resorted to amplifying the words of a 34-count convicted felon just to take one more shot at a woman whose only real crime was being mixed race and unafraid. Insert GB News tabloid clip here. That smirk, that gleeful celebration of a man known for calling women piggy being weaponized against Meghan, that tells you everything you need to know about the agenda at play. Justice, real justice, does not come from royal titles or palace corridors. It comes from us, from choosing to support authentic voices over tabloid poison, from seeing the truth clearly and saying it out loud, loudly, every single time.